Worldwide Podcast. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
That's right. You tell them, little buddy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Late Night with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. And my co-host, Paula G, the voice, coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, the Batman is in Charm City. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. I hope everybody is hanging in there with the family. I know you've been quarantined over a month now. That's right. Everybody's probably playing some spades and some tonk and old maid, probably shooting some indoor hoops. For some of us, a little bit more creative. That's right, y'all. This is a time to be creative, y'all. God is working on you, y'all. I know you've been working on the Batman. Batman got some stuff. That's right, I got some stuff going on, y'all. Let's talk to Paula G. We got a special guest tonight. Her name is brandia. I hope I said her name right. Brandy had a chance to talk to her a little bit before the show. I'm excited to have her on here. I know Paula going to bring sound talking to her. What's going on, Paula G, the voice? What's going on?
Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. Can you feel the power? I am wonderful.
Worldwide. I saw you was worldwide today, Paula G, talking to my man Tosh out there in UK. How's he doing out there?
Yes, he is great, and just shout out to him, Shoggy Tosh and DJ Jide. Just the great platform that they have. Wonderful. His platform is expanding. He's throughout the North America, UK, Africa. He's got listeners, really all over. So we had fun. It was a great conversation. We had a good time.
Yeah, we tuned in.
Talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, I heard you.
You heard us?
Yeah, that man was tuning in while he was
cutting up
working.
A little bit,
Yeah.
Talked about what? Say again?
Oh, I said I was listening to you guys while I was working. Batman was on the clock, so I was tuning in. I was tuning in.
Taking away.
Yeah, he's doing good. Yeah, my man. Yeah, you know what?
They're doing okay. They're managing like we are.
Yeah, you got to respect that guy. I mean, he took time out. I forgot how many weeks you said. I think he said 2 months in North America, promoting his show. That's big right there. You leave your country, your motherland to come over to another country where, of course, America is rich in consumerism, if that's a word. And this is the place to do your promo. It's a shame some people really don't get down with it like he, it's like he really invested. That's what you call investing, time and money. What you got to say about that?
Oh, he really did. I mean, he was here for 2 months. He lives in the UK. He's Nigerian born. Right. So his homeland is Nigeria. So that's why he has such a huge audience in Africa. But he really invested. We talk about investing in yourself. He really invested in himself. He came here purely on faith for 2 months, all over the country, the East Coast, the West Coast, North, South, on various platforms, making connections with people, to connect radio, television, and so forth. And it was not an easy journey for him, because he was outside of his comfort zone.
Right,
Anytime you step out of your country. Yeah, so just the logistics of traveling from point A to point B were challenging, for him.
Yeah, that's right, because he couldn't bring his ride.
He couldn't drive. Yes, exactly. He couldn't drive. Of course, not because he's not capable of driving, because he doesn't have a U.S., driver's license. And plus, they drive on the other side of the road.
Right. Well, none of that over here.
Yeah.
Even though they do that in my community.
A great example of investing in yourself and investing in your dream, and investing in your passion. He did that, and it paid off, because he acquired some wonderful relationships, and now he's broadcasting on several stations throughout North America, and ones that he did not have before. So he's acquired those. Some more stations in Africa, some more in the UK. He had listeners from India. So he's growing. He's growing. We're going to see some great things from him.
That's right. Shout out to DJ Tosh, my man. I'm at the connect with
DJ Jide.
DJ Jide.
DJ Jide and Shoggy Tosh.
Yeah, I'm at the reach out to those guys doing, while we're on I'll call this our little break, Q break, quarantine.
Yeah.
See how he doing. Yeah. Matter of fact, shout out to my cousin. He's actually a record producer out there in Johannesburg, South America. He listens to the program, and he said people love American radio. With the streaming platforms moving the way they're moving, everybody's connected. They connect through WhatsApp and all that kind of stuff. So, shout out to those guys. Yeah. All right. Also,
making it happen.
That's right. Making it happen.
How are you all doing? Spending your sheltering in place time?
Well, I gotta say, everybody's so used to their normal, their normality in Easter, going to church and, parents doing what they're doing to prepare the big dinner for the families and buying Easter outfits for the smaller kids and everything. That didn't happen this year. I guess some people probably made it happen, just did church indoors. And that's what we did. We did few services. My wife actually backed up and we did a Good Friday. We did my church service, and we did Kelly Holland and Sister I can't even think of her name right now. Anyway, they always be pushing it. Katrina. They always be pushing their church on me all the time. But anyway, we got a chance to listen to their church service as well. And then I got into, of course I told you I spent a lot of time cleaning up and moving some stuff out overnight. And so, got a chance to go out a little bit, took the dog out. And then, me and the kids, we threw down and had game night. We had a little bit of game night. We played, some what's that, spades, and another game that the kids play that was really, really fun. And then we watched movies and stuff. So we had a real good time, advantage of having a nice sized family, four players.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And it's good, because it out of it is coming, families are spending more time together, they're really bonding.
That's right.
It's a challenging time, but it's also a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
For families to reconnect, refresh, regroup, reset.
You still got to keep your distance, though. You can't be crowding up with each other all day. Because a lot of people don't sleep that long. True. My kids are still moving. I'm looking on my cameras; they still up like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I think I seen Jordan walk past.
Moving around.
Head to the kitchen at 5. I said, is he having breakfast or is it just a snack? And then they still got class, because they doing online classes during the week, so. But they don't have to log on till like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, the world still moves.
Oh yeah.
It's still moving forward. We doing what we can.
Exactly.
Right. Keep it moving.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank goodness for technology.
That's right. God is good. And I had a real good friend, longtime Facebook friend. Shout out to Cherie Good. Cherie actually had posted last week that God was working on her, and meanwhile, while she'd been quarantined for these past 4 to 5 weeks, she was getting more certifications, taking classes, received some certification for more wellness programs to, introduce to her business. I was like, wow, how many people's doing that right now? Getting certifications, doing some things that they otherwise didn't have the time to do. Letting God work in them, being creative and trying to reinvent. A lot of us been doing the same thing going on. Like we're going on 7 years. Our anniversary will be 7 years in podcasting in December. So you figure, you're like, how long can you continue to do what you're doing, without adding on to what you're doing or taking a few things away and add some new things, some new flavor to the mix.
Perfecting your craft.
That's right. Working on it. And also, like I said, adding some new things, some things that you had put on the back burner that you didn't have time to do, like certification, like life coaching and and some tutorials, just learning new software, maybe building that email list that you've been thinking about doing, or trying some other software to enhance your marketing. It's some stuff that we just didn't have time to do before where, we got it now, So I say, jump on
get it done.
Yeah, get it done.
We should all emerge from this different, having grown some growth we always talk about taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
We should all be at the next level in some format,
Yeah, when this is all over. So you gotta get in your prayers, pull some new affirmations, like some of us been using the same affirmations for a long time. Get into read some books. There's some books out there on some guys that were very successful in the 50s and the 60s. And even further back, I mean, you talk about Madam C.J. Walker, her movie is out there. It was very motivating. It's a few
great
others.
Movie.
Yeah, great movie. I was watching something, I think, today that was very motivating. I can't think exactly what it was, but it was based on entrepreneurship, It was very motivating and encouraging, to see, people, and then looking at new things too, we moving into, some theater projects for children, which of course, we just got a cable deal for that project. So we're excited about that. So that's what we've been doing, looking at new ways to get the kids involved because they're very creative. I was talking to E. Brandy and she got some big things on the table that could probably work with what we're doing, some collaboration. So,
right.
We got to get this stuff moving, y'all. We got to get God is speaking to us right now.
Yeah. So this is opportunity time. And of course, we want to lift our prayers, our thoughts, and our prayers, our hearts to, our first responders, medical workers, all the families who are affected by this virus, those who lost family members who are sick. We certainly want to lift them in prayer, but those of us who are blessed with a good health and we're home and we're able to begin to invest in ourselves, it's a great opportunity. It's a great time to do so.
Time to invest. All right, Paula G, I'm going to turn this over to you. I'm going to shout out real quick to Jason Nason and Glenn Piper and Sheila Moore Piper, and shout out to Renee Montgomery and Red Henry and his beautiful wife, Crystal Henry, new additions to our Thursday night triple podcast with me and Kelly Holland and Profet coming out of the West Coast, him and the Bishop. So you guys got to tune in on Thursday night for the triple podcast. Come join us, y'all. Also, don't forget tomorrow night, especially now, a lot of you guys don't have time to get into the word, or you're still having a little bit of problems understanding it. Pastor V, she gives an excellent presentation on the Bible station. Tune in right here at 8:00, right here on Facebook Live or Spreaker Radio. Just look for our link and join her for 45 minutes of Bible study. She brings it well. And we'll let you know what the topic is. So just check our page, just check back, and we'll have the topic out there. So, all right, Paula G, let's let our guests out of the queue. What's going on, Ms. E. Brandy? How you doing tonight? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Amen. Good to hear you. We're excited. Hear your music. Play it for the people. They get a chance to support you.
I'm excited to be here.
Amen.
Definitely.
All right. So look, Batman, just want to say hello from Charm City. I'm going to be chilling. We hope to meet you soon. We'll let you know where we're going to be. I'm sure Glenn probably said we're going to let you know we're going to be in Atlanta real soon with Paula G on September 18th for the taping of My Journey with Paula G. And we're so excited about that. So she'll probably give more information when we do a commercial break. All right. Well, have a great show. Amen.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for joining us for Late Night Radio with Jerry Royce Live and Paula G this evening. So glad to be with you all. I also want to give my Monday night co-host as well, Shay Samuels, a shout out. She's taking the month off for some much needed rest. So shouts out to her. She'll be back joining you on next month on the first and third Monday, as I join you on the second and fourth Monday. And as Jerry mentioned, our live taping of My Journey with Paula G here in the Atlanta area, September 18th and 19th. Those of you who are in the Atlanta area but wish to be a guest, you can reach out to us, jerryvoicelive@gmail.com or paula@paulagvoice.com. Also, our live taping date that we had scheduled for next month has been moved to July 18th and 19th in the Owings Mills area. So we've got two dates, July 18th and 19th, two sets of dates, July 18th and 19th, Owings Mills Studio. September 18th and 19th, Atlanta studio, for those of you who are in the respective areas and wish to be a guest on My Journey with Paula G. Make sure you reach out to us so we can have a conversation and see where it goes. All right, well, my guest this evening is a recording artist, and she's here with us. We're just excited to have her. She is Brandia. How are you?
I'm doing so well, thank you.
Yeah, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. I heard the excitement in your voice when Jerry first brought you on. I heard the excitement in your voice.
Yeah, I am excited.
Yes. This is going to be a great conversation. So share with the audience a bit about who is Brandia. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. And, you know, before I get there, I have to tell you this really quick funny story. I reached out to Jerry a little earlier today just to say thanks and that I was excited about speaking with you guys this evening. And so he says, give me a call real quick. I have a question for you. And so when I called him, he says, so we don't want to get it wrong, but how do you pronounce your name? And I laughed because I said, you know what, it's so funny because I get that so much. And then when I tell people exactly how to pronounce it, you know, it's like a big, oh, well, yeah, you pronounce it exactly how it looks.
How it is.
But what was even funnier to me, he asked, well, what does it stand for? You know, and I think the notion was he didn't realize that actually is my name. that is my birth given name. Brandia, and you pronounce it exactly how it looks. But to answer your question, Brandia is an overcomer. Brandia is someone who has triumphed through so many different obstacles, and she's just someone who's very excited about the journey that she's on. She's a songstress. She's a writer. She's a playwright. She's a mother. She's a friend. She's a sister. She's all around just a really nice person, an enthusiastic person. She's a go-getter. She's a lover of the Lord. And most of all, she's a worshiper. And she's just here and ready to do God's work at any moment and any time.
And you know, that is so, it's so, oh gosh, what is the word that I want to use? It's so reflective of, you know, when someone has overcome, when they have triumphed. I was on a show earlier today, and I was, you know, kind of asked a similar question about one of my journeys. You know, why are you so passionate about it? Mm-hmm. And I know you can speak to this. When you've overcome something that you didn't think you would get over, you would get through. Mm-hmm. When you've triumphed over something that you didn't think you could triumph over, you didn't see any way out of, and yet you're on the other side of it, doing what it is that God has gifted you to do or called you to do. That is just, first of all, I would think a humbling feeling.
It is.
Just, you know, very, very. Can you speak to that a little bit?
It's almost like a breath of fresh air, and I like to tell people, you know, I've been on this journey since I was 13 years old. And it's been a very long journey. And I was introduced to the music industry at a very early age, you know, and when you don't have the knowledge about all the ins and outs, you know, what goes on behind the scenes, and, you know, people, they tell you certain things are going on, but you don't really understand, you know, what that exactly means, you know, and how they say you're signing your life away, you know, on the dotted line. You really don't know that that's the truth when you don't know. You know, the ignorance behind it all, you know, can cause you to fall and stumble in so many ways, you know, and like I said, the introduction to the industry at 13, you know, has led me up a lot of hills and has had me stumble down a lot of more hills, you know, but the one thing that I appreciate about the journey is that every time that I've fallen, I've somehow found the strength to get right back up again. And with this particular journey, and even finishing this single that we did, and a great big shout out to Glenn Piper and Sheila Moore Piper, who I like to say helped me cross the finish line. You know, I've been recording for such a long time, and I've always been at the finish line, but I've never had the opportunity to cross the finish line. You know, I've always been afraid to show people who I really am and what I've been called to do. And so many times I've heard, you know, oh, you have such a beautiful gift, or you're gifted, you're anointed, and I kind of would turn my nose up and, you know, turn my head. But that moment that God opened my eyes to what the reality of it really is and what my purpose is, it was so refreshing, and it was like a breath of fresh air. You know, I had a breakdown with one of my best friends, and I was just telling her, you know, I don't like how this gift that they say I have is making me feel. And she told me, and I carry this with me, she said, well, the gift is not for you. It's not about you. It's bigger than you, you know. And she says, you know, God will never put more on you than you can bear. You know, and so many times we think the bearing is bad. You know, all the things that we bear is so bad. But the bear can be a good thing, you know, and that really spoke to my heart. And it just kind of made me sit back and say, okay, God, I'm here. I know you gave it to me. I accept it. Do what you will with it, and I'll follow you.
Wow. You know, you have mentioned that you had started at the age of 13. Am I to understand that you were classically trained?
Yes.
You were classically trained. So share with us some of those early days with your classical background.
So kind of the way I got started out, my introduction to music was through my parents. I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio, and I grew up in a church called Faithway Church. And I know many of you know who Shirley Murdoch is. And I'm a Shirley Murdoch baby. I came under the tutelage of Shirley Murdoch at Faithway Baptist Church in Toledo, Ohio. My mother played the organ. My dad was very instrumental. He played various instruments. So it's always been around me. And my very first gift, and I talk about it all the time, was a Cabbage Patch keyboard given to me by my dad. And I'll never, ever forget that, because it was like the best gift that I guess you could give, you know, a 4-year-old at Christmas time. But it was like the light bulb moment, you know, that this is for you. It's in your blood, so you kind of have to take it and run with it. My mom put me in music classes at an early age. I started playing the piano at an early age, but I also was taking voice lessons, and I kind of did that all through school. I actually auditioned for University of Houston Moore School of Music for opera, not even liking opera, but just wanting the challenge of doing it. And I actually got a scholarship for it. But I decided to pursue music more so full-time, so I ended up going in a totally different direction. So I've trained in various aspects, musically and vocally, and under the tutelage of various people. Shout out to King Court Music School. I know they're not open anymore, but that's kind of where I got my my start with my classical training.
Wow. And that foundation, you know, I've heard a lot about classical music and having the foundation of classical music and how that really helps artists to grow. What do you think it is about classical music that provides such what some believe to be a strong foundation for a musical career, regardless of what direction you go in?
I think it's the I'm going to use the word difficulty of the melodies in the music and how it's put together technically. You don't really just find it technically put together, you know, in different genres per se of music. And when you build upon the technicality of the music, it makes a difference in the tonation and how you can deliver music. It almost like sets a foundation for it sets you up to be able to sing and or play various types of music. It's almost the root, you know, the root of all, I would say, training, when you initially start training, unless, you're one of those people who are just wonderfully gifted and just sit down one day and you just have it.
Right.
But I think it's kind of the root, because that's kind of where you start. You don't go to piano lessons and they, I'll put you on gospel music 101, or hard rock 101. You kind of start with a classical foundation from the beginning.
Yes, and those drills from that big yellow Hannon book where you do those finger drills.
Exactly.
You remember those?
I do.
Over and over.
Up and down, chromatic,
up and down,
back and forth.
Right.
Yes.
Back, with your eyes closed in your sleep.
Holding those fingers straight or getting popped with a pencil. I done had it all. I've had it all.
But you're right. It creates such a strong, solid foundation from which, and the complexity of it, like you mentioned, the complexity of it is just a great training ground for one to launch a musical career, both, whether they're playing an instrument or singing as well. So, that is really huge. So tell us about this new single, He Planned It. We're going to listen to a bit of it in a little while.
Okay. He planned it. I like to say about He Planned It, if He planned it, that means there's a resolution and a solution behind whatever it is that He planned. And this song, it came to me. I was driving on my way to work one day, and as I was kind of talking to you about earlier, having these emotions and feelings about, why am I feeling so bad about my gift? I don't understand it, and why am I succumbing to such sad emotions when I don't have anything to be sad about? Lord, I want to do this, but do I really want to do it? I don't think I do, but maybe I do. I'm bumping into brick walls, one window opens, another one closes, and so many other things were going on in my life. And I just got to a point where I was saying, Lord, why me? That ultimate question that we ask that we're not supposed to ask. Lord, why me? Why? Just why? And I was driving, and I just heard something say, He planned it. Everything that's happening to you right now, He planned it. He planned it for you. He didn't plan it for anyone else. It's specifically just for you. And because He planned it for you, something good is going to be at the end of the rainbow, but you just have to ride it out just a little while. Just ride the storm out just a little while. So when I heard that, I said, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. So He planned it for me. And because He planned it for me, that means my name is on it. So I need to take advantage of all the things that He has planned for me. And whatever that means, it may not even be to help me. It may be to help someone else. And so I just kind of stuck with that. And by the time I got to work that morning, I'd finished writing a song. And then I'd reached out to another one of my colleagues in the music industry, and I told him, I said, I think I'm tired of playing games with people now. I really want to do something with this. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to put you in contact with some of the best people in the industry right now, and I'm going to leave you there. And he said, I wouldn't introduce you to anybody that would not take the best care of you and do with you and for you what I know needs to be done. And that's how I ended up meeting Glenn and Sheila Piper. And when I tell you, even though so many times I just wanted to throw in the towel and say, it just never mind, it doesn't matter, they would not let me quit.
Let you do it.
They would not. They would not.
Isn't that a blessing to have people like that in your life, those that will see the potential in you, see the gift in you, and will not let you quit? If you're just joining us, this is Late Night Radio with Jerry Royce Live and Paula G right here on Positive Power 21. We're listening to gospel recording artist Brandia, and she was sharing with us the creation behind her new single, He planned it. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandia, he planned it.
Royce Worldwide Podcast.
And if you are just joining us, this is Late Night Radio with Jerry Royce Live and Paula G with our guest this evening who has triumphed. She's an overcomer. She's a songstress. She's a playwright, a parent, and a go-getter. And that you just listened to was her new single, He Planned It. And she just shared before the break the journey behind He Planned It. Brandia, what do you think is on the horizon moving forward? What do you think God has in store for you moving forward?
Oh, so many great things. And I personally feel the biggest thing is the message that he's given me in my heart to share with the world. Right now, well, before, the pandemic started with COVID, 2019, we actually were working on Brandia Live Part 2. So it's kind of at a halt right now, but, it is not going to go on, because it will. Because at this point, in my life and in my journey, there is nothing that is going to keep me from doing the work of the Lord. And I just want him to know that I'm grateful and I'm thankful that he is a God of another chance, and, that he has the heart to forgive, and to just help pull you out. And because of that, I have to keep going, So there's a lot of things coming next year, hopefully next year. And if I can kick it off ground this year, I'm going to be producing one of my plays that we did earlier in the year last year. But more so, I have to deliver the message of God's love right now. It has to be shared, and now it's such the perfect opportunity and time to, if not introduce people to, reintroduce people to, and just offer, the remedy. And the remedy is God's love. And so I know that message has been planted in me, and I have to deliver it. So be on the lookout for Brandia Live Part 2. I'm right now booking and taking opportunities for shows and other opportunities for ministry. So there's just a lot going on that I'm really, really excited about. But more so, I'm really excited about not giving up anymore.
And that's inspiring to someone or someones who are listening. On our TV show, My Journey with PAULA G, we always say that our guests are juggling the journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given them. So how, for those who are listening, who are maybe in the midst of utilizing their gift, and they're maybe still working a full-time job, or they have family, or they're thinking about it, but they're saying, no, I can't get started now because, I've got all these other things going on. What is it that you can share with them to encourage them to, recognize that this may be their season to step out on what it is that God has called them to do?
I would say, don't be afraid to dream the dream. Don't be afraid to walk fully and boldly into your destiny, and whatever your destiny is, it's for you. It's already been planned. You don't know anything about it, but it's already been planned. So just don't give up. Keep the faith, put up the fight, and just go forward.
Amen. Amen. That is great advice. Share with our audience. You'll have another opportunity to share with them again, but share with them how they can stay connected, where it is that they can support you through your music. Okay.
You can find me on Facebook at Only Brandia, and the spelling of my name, E, B as in boy, R-A-N, D as in David, I-A. I'm also on Twitter at, what is my Twitter?
I know, right?
Brandia _E.
I do the same thing.
Brandia _E on Twitter, and Miss EDIA on Instagram. Again, that's Facebook, Only Brandia, on Twitter, Brandia _E, and on Instagram, Miss EDIA. Also, if you want to send a message or reach out for booking, at E Major Music, the official E Major Music at gmail.com. Again, that's the official E Major Music at gmail.com. Phone number is 346-317-0328.
Awesome. And, we've got about 4 or 5 more minutes. Talk to us a little bit more about your playwriting.
Oh, yes. I've actually been writing a very long time. But last year, we put out our first production called The Final Hours of a Dead Church. And I was telling Jerry earlier, the way that I wrote this particular play, I set it up like a courthouse, and all these members were being called to trial, and either you were a member who contributed to the well-being of the church, or you were one of the members who were not contributing to the well-being of the church. And it was so funny how many people found themselves in some of the characters that were portrayed. But the message that it delivered is we all have an important part to play in the church to keep the church alive and well.
Wow, that is huge. I know that was probably stepping on some toes there.
Oh, you talking stepping on toes, all the toes.
Stepping on some toes. There's sometimes they're like, wait a minute, are you talking about me? People get paranoid. Wait a minute.
Right.
Are you talking about me?
We're going to try to get that up and on the road because I got a lot of positive feedback about it. And a lot of people have asked me to take it on the road. So that's kind of on my bucket lister project list to do that. Because like I said, right now I'm all about delivering the message. I don't want to have the message, hold the message, and then get to heaven and get asked the question, well, did you tell my people what thus said the Lord? And I don't want to have to say no. I mean, I knew I was supposed to, but I was afraid to. So I don't want to do that. So we're moving upward, onward, and forward. Exactly. Let me just go on and do it. So you can leave this earth as an empty vessel. What is it that Miles Monroe said, that the richest place on the planet is the cemetery, because so many people go to their graves having not utilized the gift. So, like you said, we're not trying to have that conversation. Not at all. Use me up, Lord. Use me up.
That's right. When we get to those pearly gates. So I need you to do a couple more things for me. We've only got a couple minutes left, but share your contact information, how we can stay connected and support you, and also if you could leave with our audience an encouraging word. It could be in the form of a prayer or something encouraging, however you're led to share.
Sure. Okay. Again, you can find me on Facebook, only Brandia, Twitter, Brandia_E, on Instagram, Miss Edia. You can also message me at theofficial emajormusic@gmail.com, or give me a call. I like to talk. 346-317-0328. He Planned It is out on all digital platforms. You can pick it up at any time to show your love and support. I greatly appreciate it. And before we get off of here, I just want to say, again, don't be afraid. Dream the dream. Every test has a testimony on the other side, and it may help somebody. So don't be afraid to go to it, because if you go to it, he'll bring you through it. It's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate you guys for having me on tonight.
And thank you so much for being such a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful guest. Her new single, He Planned It, our guest this evening, Brandia. Make sure you reach out, support her as she continues this journey of using the gifts that God has given her. We are so grateful for her joining us this evening. Before we go, just a couple of reminders. Our 2 live tapings of My Journey with Paula G will take place July 18th and 19th in our Owings Mills studio, September 18th and 19th in our Atlanta, Georgia studio. If you'd like to be a part of the journey, you'd like to be a part of My Journey with Paula G for the next season on WATC TV 57 here in Atlanta, reach out to us, jerryroycelive@gmail.com or paulagvoice.com, paula@paulagvoice.com. Email us and let us know so we can begin that conversation. Also, don't forget, each and every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there is a triple podcast happening right here on Positive Power 21. Make sure you tune in. Facebook Live, Spreaker, make sure you tune in and join us. Also, shouts out to Jerry for his short film on domestic violence. It's airing here in the DeKalb County area in Georgia, so make sure you check that out as well. You can go to the site and see the various times that they are listed there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, as I always say, the greatest conversation you will ever have is what? The one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still, small voice. Stay safe. Much love to each and every one of you. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Embrace the journey.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XL.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
He planned it for me. Nobody but me. My name is on it. My name is on it.
are, here we are, here we are, here we are. Here we are, here we are, here we are, here we are. Here we are in the presence of the Lord. Here we are in the presence of the King. He carried the cross to Calvary for you and me, so that we wouldn't be lost. Oh, people, can't you see? And that's why I say now, here we are, 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 here we are. He knows your every weakness and who you are. So when you are weak, you know that the Lord, He is strong. And that's why I say now, here we are, 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 here we are. Here we are, here we are, here we are, here we are. He knows what you're going through. He will give you strength to go on through. Put the trust in Jesus. I know the Lord, He'll make a way for you. I want you to know today that Jesus loves you. Yes, He does. I want you to know He cares all about you. Just confess with thy mouth and believe in thy heart God raised Jesus from the dead, and you will be saved. He carried the cross to Calvary for you and me.